The moonlit grove. Even its name was whispered in hushed tones. It stood at the edge of Hollow Creek, a shroud of ancient trees and secrets. Locals told tales of strange lights, of voices calling on the wind. They said the grove was a place of power, touched by the other world, a place to be feared. The trees of the grove were gnarled, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. Moonlight struggled to penetrate the dense canopy, casting the forest floor in perpetual twilight. The air hung heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. Something about it was both alluring and deeply unsettling. For generations, the elders of Hollow Creek warned their children away from the grove. They spoke of ancient magic, of beings with eyes like glowing embers and bargains that could shatter your soul. Yet these warnings only served to pique the curiosity of the brave or foolish, those drawn to the allure of the unknown. And none were more curious than young Evelyn. Evelyn was never one for heedless obedience. Rules, she felt, were made to be bent, tested, and sometimes broken entirely. The warnings surrounding the moonlit grove were like a dare she couldn't ignore. She yearned to see its wonders for herself, to stand beneath its haunted canopy. Her grandmother, a woman steeped in the lore of Hollow Creek, had warned her of the grove's dangers. Curiosity killed the cat, she chided. But Evelyn, with the fire of youth burning in her heart, believed she was different. She could navigate the mysteries, emerge unscathed, wiser. So on the eve of her 18th birthday, under the ghostly glow of a full moon, Evelyn stole away from her home. Armed with nothing but a lantern and her insatiable curiosity, she ventured towards the whispered grove. Each step towards the looming darkness strengthened her resolve. She would see what secrets lay within. The moment Evelyn crossed the threshold of the grove, the world shifted. The air grew colder, thick with the smell of damp earth and something ancient, almost metallic. The sounds of the night, crickets chirping, owls hooting, vanished, replaced by an unnerving silence. She walked deeper, the trees pressing closer, their gnarled branches forming a tangled web above her. The moonlight, already feeble, was choked out by the dense canopy. Her lantern cast long, dancing shadows that twisted and writhed like living things. Fear, cold and sharp, pricked at the edges of her courage, but still she pressed on. The path, if it could be called that, was treacherous. Roots, thick as a man's arm, snaked across the ground, eager to trip her. Thorny brambles tore at her clothes, leaving tiny scratches on her skin. Yet an odd sense of peace began to settle over her. It was as if the grove itself was watching, waiting. As Evelyn ventured deeper into the heart of the grove, the silence was broken. At first, it was a faint rustling, like leaves stirred by a phantom breeze. But as she walked, it grew louder, resolving into whispers, soft and sibilant, seeming to emanate from the trees themselves. They were words without form, voices without bodies, whispering secrets in a language she couldn't understand. It was unsettling, this chorus of whispers, and a primal fear tightened its grip on Evelyn's chest. Yet she couldn't bring herself to turn back. Something compelled her forward, deeper into the grove's embrace. Then through the trees she saw it, a figure shrouded in mist and shadow, its eyes burning like hot coals in the darkness. It stood motionless, watching her, and the whispers grew louder, swirling around it like a vortex of leaves and mist. Terror threatened to overwhelm Evelyn, but she stood her ground. The figure approached, and as it moved, The shadows seemed to part around it, the whispers dying down to a low murmur. When it was but a few paces away, it stopped, and the air crackled with unseen energy. "You are bold," the figure spoke, its voice a low rumble like stones grinding together. "Few dare to enter my domain." It wasn't a man nor a beast, but something in between, ancient and powerful. Evelyn found her voice, though it trembled slightly. "Who are you?" she asked, her words echoing strangely in the stillness of the grove. The figure gestured around them. "I am the guardian of this place," it said, "the keeper of its secrets, the shepherd of its magic." It paused, its glowing eyes studying her intently. "You seek knowledge, child. What is it you wish to know?" Evelyn hesitated, uncertain how to respond. The grove, the whispers, the sheer otherworldly presence of this being before her, it was all so overwhelming. "I've heard stories," Evelyn stammered, "of the grove's power, its magic. I wanted to see it for myself." The guardian let out a low chuckle that echoed through the trees. "And have you seen enough?" Evelyn, emboldened by the guardian's seeming amusement, straightened her spine. "No," she said, her voice firmer now. "I want to understand it. I want to know its secrets." The guardian regarded her for a long moment, its glowing eyes boring into her soul. Then it spoke, its voice low and dangerous. "Knowledge comes at a price, little one. Are you willing to pay it?" Evelyn's heart pounded in her chest. Fear warred with her burning curiosity, but the allure of the unknown, of possessing the grove's secrets, was too strong to resist. "Yes," she breathed, her voice barely a whisper, "I'm willing." A slow, chilling smile spread across the guardian's face. "Very well," it said, its voice like ice cracking. "Then a pact we shall make." The pact was sealed under the watchful eyes of the ancient trees and the silent whispers of the grove. What transpired that night, only Evelyn and the guardian truly knew. But as the first rays of dawn pierced through the dense canopy, Evelyn emerged from the moonlit grove forever changed. Gone was the curious girl who had ventured into the woods. In her place stood a woman, her eyes glowing with an unnatural light, her very essence interwoven with the magic of the grove. She possessed the knowledge she craved, the power she desired, but at a terrible cost. The whispers followed her home, clinging to her like shadows. She could feel the presence of the grove everywhere, its magic thrumming in her veins, a constant reminder of the pact she had made. Sleep offered no escape, for her dreams were filled with twisted visions of the grove's dark heart. Evelyn returned to Hollow Creek, but she was a stranger in her own life. The townsfolk, sensing the change in her, whispered and avoided her gaze. Her grandmother, her eyes filled with a mixture of pity and fear, refused to acknowledge the being her granddaughter had become. Years passed, and Evelyn lived a solitary life haunted by the whispers and the echoes of her pact. The grove's magic had twisted her, reshaping her in its image. She could command the elements, heal the sick, see into the hearts of men, but it brought her no joy. The price of her knowledge was her connection to humanity, her ability to feel anything but the cold, unyielding power that coursed through her. She became a recluse, feared and revered in equal measure. The whispers called her the Moonlit Witch, a title she wore like a shroud. She had become a cautionary tale, living proof of the grove's allure and the terrible price of its embrace. As Evelyn grew old, her body withered, but her connection to the grove only strengthened. The whispers became her constant companions, a chorus of voices reminding her of her eternal servitude. She knew that upon her death, her spirit would be bound to the grove, her essence fueling its magic for eternity, and so it was. on a night bathed in the silvery glow of a full moon, that Evelyn breathed her last. The whispers reached a crescendo, then fell silent as her spirit slipped from her mortal coil. In the heart of the moonlit grove, a new tree took root, its bark as white as bone, its leaves whispering secrets to the wind. Evelyn was gone, but her presence lingered, a cautionary tale woven into the very fabric of the grove. A reminder that some doors once opened can never be closed, and some bargains once made can never be broken. The moonlit grove remained, a place of power and dread, forever bound to the soul of the girl who dared to seek its secrets.